Hey everyone, this podcast is part of Story Mode, the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. You can support us and gain access to other great exclusive podcasts like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman by heading over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
Hypecast mit Tom Reimann und David Bell.
Well, hey everyone.
Hello.
What? You were going to say something?
Solid intro.
Show we get
Hypecast.
hyped about stuff and things. I'm your co-host, Tom Ryman.
I'm your other co-host, David Bell.
And I am Drew Grant, back here
Hi.
again. Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Drew Grant's back again.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
That was a whole spectrum.
Yeah, I'd say well. Well is...
Fine.
Yeah.
I just learned that Del Taco has Beyond Meat tacos.
I have never eaten a Del Taco. Does that change something for you?
I mean, it changes it for me because I don't eat meat, and I've never had like a...
You never have eaten meat? Like ever?
I haven't... I stopped eating meat in 5th grade.
Whoa.
So pretty much I don't remember meat. And so like I've never had a taco with meat in it. So I'm looking forward to this. That's all.
So you're looking forward to eating something that is like meat, but not from an animal.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, this is a subject of a different podcast, but I'm
I
not
don't say I have to follow a question, so
I'm not a
wait.
huge fan of like the Impossible Burger and Beyond Meat because of that reason. Because I stopped eating meat because I just thought meat was kind of gross tasting. That said, I think it's neat, and so I want to try it. Also, I think Beyond Meat doesn't taste, at least from what I've heard, it doesn't taste that much like meat. I don't know.
I'll have to try.
People who eat meat probably have a...
Yeah.
Yeah.
As someone who eats
meat.
I eat a lot of meat, but I also really like stuff like Morningstar. I also like the fake meats in
Well-
certain capacities.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep talking about this. I think the beauty of making fake meat is that you can like make it better than meat. You can do cool shit in it.
Yeah.
You can like put cheese in it or like I like
You
that
can put
about
cheese in
veggie
it.
burgers. No, I mean like cheese like in the patty and shit like that. Like you
Yeah.
can do some really creative shit, which is why when like Impossible Burger was like, we're gonna make it taste like a hamburger. I'm like, well, that's boring. You can do so many cool things in a patty form.
Yes, I agree.
It's the perfect shape.
Again, I have some follow-up questions that I'll ask you at some other time.
Okay. You guys want to talk about trailers then, I guess?
You know what? I sure do.
All right. You guys don't want to talk about meat some more?
I do, but I feel like I need to
Save that
watch
for Meatcast.
Okay.
Meatcast!
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 What's the first trailer? What do we got?
It's Black Mirror season 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. It starts out with Andrew Scott from Sherlock and that's Andrew Scott, correct? So that's already
I
my
believe so, yeah.
favorite thing to see.
He's pretty terrific.
He's amazing. He was, if you don't know him from Sherlock, where he played Moriarty, he was also in that Victor Frankenstein movie. I don't know why you would have seen that instead. He was in the recent James Bond, I think, as somebody.
Really?
Yeah, most recent one.
Oh, you're right. He does show up in that.
He's going to be on Fleabag season 2 as a priest. He's one of my favorite, like, weirdo character actors, and it starts out with him, holding a gun?
He's, like, holding himself hostage? It's
yeah.
unclear.
So, but everyone's filming him. It's sort of like that, White Bear episode. But then it kind of veers off into an Anthony Mackie.
Yeah, Anthony Mackie's got one where he's, I guess, doing dating, and then there's another one with...
Cheating on his wife, looks like.
Is that what's happening?
Well, they mentioned something about infidelity or something. And he's like,
Oh.
put it away.
Okay.
And then there's one with Miley Cyrus?
Yes.
Where she has, like, a little robot friend
Yeah.
that's telling her how cool she is.
Yes. And what's funny is it looks like the Anthony Mackie one verges at some point with the Andrew Scott one. So either that's the same episode or they're really leaning hard into the crossover concept.
I mean, they said
maybe.
there's only 3 episodes.
There's only
Yeah.
3 episodes.
Yeah. I assume they're all like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Is the fighting one part of the Miley Cyrus one?
I assume so.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
It's unclear, but like she seems to be some sort of virtual pop star.
My thing about Black Mirror is, I want to go back and like reimagine how I felt watching the first 2 seasons because
Same here.
Because I remember thinking this is kind of hit or miss because there were episodes, especially in the second season, in that Waldo moment, which I think I made you watch.
You did. That's the
just,
one with the bear, right?
Yeah, the little bear thing, the blue bear thing that totally suck. And then I really like the Christmas one with
John
Hamm and what's his name, Rafe, whatever his name is, and he's
know.
like the son of somebody else.
Oh, Rafe Spall.
Rafe Spall, who you just told me was the other
Son
Spall.
of Timothy Spall.
Timothy Spall's son.
Yeah.
That was great. And then when they rebooted it for Netflix, it felt like kind of a different show.
It feels forced. It feels like they...
Sometimes.
they're-
I just watched USS Callister. And
That's the best one.
That one's pretty great.
That one,
Yeah.
that one is the best Black Mirror, period.
Yeah.
But
It's
that's
very good.
I think the problem is they're like, we're going to make the Twilight Zone for technology.
Which immediately limits you.
Yes, and it limits you to like, what if things in computers had feelings is like half of their episodes.
well, that's the problem too. Is if you watch the Black, what is it called, Black Museum one, it also tries to like sew in like a timeline that this all is in the same universe
Yes.
now, and that is like really obnoxious to me.
It's,
What
Like,
are
it's
you
unworkable.
it's
I've
unworkable.
only seen a handful of the episodes, but like you can't. They directly contradict each other. So
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah, but the Black Museum one tries to put it in the framework
Yeah.
of here's where the technology landed at different points, but it totally it really limits them in terms of what they can do if it's all the same universe.
Right. And then the Bandersnatch.
I
is
like
that
that
it?
still haven't watched it.
I liked it.
I wasn't a fan of it only because it didn't seem to have any point to it.
It was a new
It was
new
neat.
thing.
Yeah, it was definitely a neat. It was a gimmick, and it was a neat gimmick, and I enjoyed that. But when it ended, I was like, "So what? What was the point of it?" Like,
I think it's like a prologue to new technology that actually is going to be coming out on different shows, especially
they
streaming apps.
yeah.
Because I have a friend
Yeah.
who's developing one who did
There's one with Bear Grylls
Mhm.
on Netflix right now where you get to like choose what Bear Grylls does and see whether or not he lives.
Well, is there some episodes where Bear Grylls just straight up dies and they
I hope
brought him
so.
back?
I haven't
They
tried
resuscitated
cloning
him?
him.
I hope there's one where it's like you tell him to like reach for the wrong handhold and he just falls down a cliff. That'd
Yeah.
be incredible television.
So that's why I feel like USS Callister was the best standalone episode, because it does just kind of take place in its own thing. And there wasn't, maybe it's cute to have a couple Easter eggs per episode or per thing that's like,
Sure,
oh yeah, it's
yeah,
from
yeah.
another
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
But USS Callister is just the greatest because what it is like a true commentary on something that's happening now, not just like a weird thing that we can do with technology.
Right.
It's also just a good sci-fi horror story, and
Oh,
it also
God.
has a solid Aaron Paul cameo at the very end.
I mean,
Oh
great
my
Aaron
God,
Paul,
it does.
solid cast.
So I mean, it's a great cast.
Really
Jimmy
good
Simpson.
cast, Yeah.
Freaking what's his name?
Jesse Plemons.
Jesse Plemons.
Yeah, he's
And-
crushing it.
Yeah, and the mother from How I Met Your Mother. I just
Yep. Yeah, that's her.
just about
Oh, and your friend. He's-
Billy
Billy's
Magnuson's
back. He's the bad guy. The
Yeah,
quote
the-
bad guy that they're making him be the bad guy.
Yeah, so I think when Black Mirror does well, it's when it comments on something that's like very integral to what we're talking about right now, like beta males or like,
Right.
like that kind of white knight stuff or
Also,
yeah.
I think the one, the afterlife one, the one where the two women are in the computer.
Or that's the heaven one.
Yeah.
Then there's a hell one, which
That
is
one-
the John Hamm.
That one doesn't necessarily say anything. It's just like a very beautiful story. So, like, I'm okay if it's just like we're going to tell a really interesting story
Sure.
that has a beginning, middle, and end. But it does feel like just feels like there's going to be a lot of misses for something like that. And I
Yeah.
guess that's okay.
Yeah.
There's
But
only
when-
so many times I can be totally scared. And by the way, it is totally scary the first time I was brought up in the John Hamm Christmas episode of like, putting yourself into a cookie and then making that self last 1,000,000 years. Every second lasts
Yeah.
like 1,000 years and just creating a hellscape.
That was a pretty neat one.
Yeah.
Okay, next trailer is the non-teaser, the more full trailer for Midsommar, which is director of Hereditary.
Yep.
Their follow-up.
Ari something.
R.E.S.
Aster.
Yeah, Aster. That's right.
Oh, okay.
Giving away the game.
You think so?
Yeah.
It's a time vortex.
You
Oh,
think
that's
so?
so it's the
I think so.
so it's the unended? So it's literally the plot of the unended.
Or an endless.
The
Endless, yes.
Endless.
I don't think that's
I think
all
there's
it-
I think there is a time
there is a time
displacement
vortex.
element in this.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if that gives it away, because Hereditary, you could be like, oh yeah, it's about a cult. Or
I
something.
couldn't. The trailer for Hereditary, I vaguely understood that it's some sort of haunting that was passed on, but it's like I legit went into that movie not really knowing what to expect. I feel like this is gonna be The Endless.
I hope it's not. I will say, with Hereditary, the thing I enjoyed the most about Hereditary wasn't the story, because the story had been done. Yeah, the story had been done multiple times.
That story had been done multiple
times.
times.
Well, there's elements of it, like Rosemary's Baby and The Exorcist and stuff like that. Like, it's a possession movie. I'm not saying it's completely, derivative of other things, but I guess my point is, what I liked the most about that was the execution. The scares were very unique to me, and it was really effective.
Well, I think he really did something well, which is you go into Hereditary thinking it's a horror movie, and then there's some straight up horrible trauma. It's like there's this thing that happens that you're just like, oh, that's so sad, and then the rest of the movie is really cloaked in something that's grief laden.
Yes.
And they hinted that in Midsommar. They kind of hint that something's happened to her.
Something's happened to her,
yeah.
But they're not telling us what.
They're not telling us what, but I think that's going to be the interesting dynamic, because the humanizing or the dehumanizing of someone based on their grief.
And that's the same feeling I get with this, where I've seen a million at this point horror movies around cults, but it's going to be the execution. It's going to be how the story is told and the specifics like that.
I wasn't wild about Hereditary, but I still really want to see this movie, just because even though I didn't don't really care for Hereditary, there's a few just images from Hereditary that really stick in your mind for many days to weeks after you watch the movie.
So I didn't like Hereditary when I saw it in theaters. Then I got it on YouTube. Then I watched it 5 times in a row, back to back.
That's too many
night
times.
After. No, and I started to love it. I started realizing there were all these flavors of it that I didn't catch the first time, because I was so distracted by oh no, this is a sad movie. I don't want to watch a sad movie.
That was sort of what happened, because when we saw it, I think I liked it more than you, Tom. Mm-hmm. And then after we recorded the podcast, you had been texting me I can't stop thinking about the movie though.
Yeah,
it's that. It's
the execution is undeniable.
I was definitely coming in here to say that Cameron Monaghan looks great in this movie, but once again, it's Will Poulter, or whatever you pronounce it.
Will Poulter, yeah.
Yeah, it's not the guy who plays Baby Choker on Gotham. It's the other one from Bandersnatch.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who any of the... Oh, yeah, I know who this is. Yeah. Okay.
They look exactly alike.
He was the guy that was going to play Pennywise.
Oh, he would have been great.
And Fukunaga's It.
Right. That would have been... I still want to know what that was going to be. I think that would have been something. I mean, I'm still looking forward to this new one.
Oh, for sure.
But, okay. Let's go to the next one, which is Batwoman.
Sure.
With, what's her name? Ruby Rose. Yeah, I mean, it's a CW superhero show that I'll never watch.
I've never seen Arrow. I've seen a few episodes of The Flash, and that's pretty good.
What about Supergirl?
I've not seen any of Supergirl.
They cross over a lot, right?
Yeah, they all do, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
But I mostly haven't seen any of these CW superhero shows. I hear they're good.
Yeah.
So this looks fine.
I mean, now it can bring into the idea of Batwoman versus Supergirl, which I don't think is a concept that's been explored that much. My favorite comment from the YouTube about this was somebody going, I low-key forgot that this was happening. Which I feel like the announcement about Ruby Rose caused such controversy, and then we all just forgot that this was going to be a thing.
Right.
They cast her to be in a big crossover event.
Yeah.
And it wasn't clear whether they were going to do a series, but then they did.
What was the crossover event?
I forget. It was all of them. It was one that had Supergirl and Green Arrow and
it's like
Flash
their version of The League or whatever.
Something, yeah. I don't remember what it was called.
The controversy with Ruby Rose?
That she wasn't Jewish, or that she's not Jewish, and Batwoman's supposed to be Jewish.
Oh.
Was that the controversy?
Or the opposite. Or that she...
I don't remember any of that.
Yeah, I missed all of that.
I wasn't paying that close attention.
I feel like that was...
I felt like part of the controversy was that the original iteration of Batwoman was, kind of whatever. The iteration that this is based on is Kate Kane, who is a lesbian, and she's in a relationship with the character Montoya, who Batman fans know. Right.
I thought that was the controversy.
But isn't Ruby Rose a lesbian?
She is.
So
I thought it was about people who didn't want lesbian Batwoman.
Well, then
How could they not want lesbian Batwoman?
I don't understand that.
You're a
Off your
jerk.
tongue.
Wait, what kind of like sweaty fanboy doesn't want to see lesbian Batwoman? Now you guys are just going off the grid, like you MGTOW people. I don't know if you just don't want to see lesbian Batwoman.
I don't know. I just assumed that was what the
she
pushback was.
She, like Will Poulter, had to leave Twitter because of all the mean things people were saying about her.
Yeah, I remember people saying she's a bad actress and like, why'd you get this shitty actress to play it? And it's like, that's like a lot of actors and actresses. Like, I also think she's fine. Like, at least in this trailer. And was she in the John Wick?
She was in John Wick too.
Yeah, she was great in that.
Wait, people are saying that she wasn't gay enough. That apparently was
really?
it. Yeah, that might have been it.
This is getting weird.
Even though she came out as a lesbian at age 12, and I don't know.
It sounds like she's plenty gay.
Right. Imagine not being gay enough for Batman.
Yeah.
And especially Ruby Rose, who has a short haircut, who has been gay since she was 12, and literally has already appeared in Orange is the New Black as a lesbian.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, not gay enough.
I don't know.
That's weird.
Don't want to wade into that controversy.
I don't even know
it
what
looks
that means.
fine. Yeah, I don't understand what it means. She's beating the shit out of people. Looks fine.
Yeah, it looks
was
like
a very
lot of
short
fun.
trailer.
It was 3 minutes long. It was one of the longer ones we watched.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I didn't feel like it was. Didn't give me a sense of the world building at all there.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. That's fair.
Yeah. Okay.
It's fine.
Well, let's move on then. To Beverly Hills 90210, the reboot.
What?
The second reboot.
What?
The second reboot.
Yeah.
Okay, this show.
Who did we just lose?
Luke Perry.
Luke Perry. Yeah, I kind of feel like without Luke Perry. I mean, no, I'm sure it's fine.
Except
I don't
that, like,
care.
He was like one of the main ones.
He was one of the main ones.
like Luke Perry was kind of great, and so it's like I feel a little sad watching this.
Mm-hmm. Sad that he's not there.
Has anyone here seen 90210 ever?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it as a kid. I don't remember much of it though.
Wasn't it kind of serious on the serious side?
It was very serious.
This is like a very sad promo for me because it like looks all kooky, like it looks all Desperate Housewives or something. Like they're all listening to everything, and I'm like, isn't it not going to be about your kids? Like I'm going to see you 50-year-olds, late 40-somethings, like going on with your same.
Searing looks great.
What? I mean, they all look great. It's just I don't know if I care that much about these people after like Melrose Place already kind of continued their saga.
A little bit. There was some crossover with Melrose Place, but not.
And then there was already a reboot in 2008 of this show.
I don't think it had the whole cast, right?
It didn't have the whole cast, but like
it wasn't focusing on the original cast. It was like new cast with some.
Right.
Who is this appealing to?
I don't know.
I think it's the same with Fuller House, where they're like, we think this will get people's attention, and I think it's gonna be that where like I think probably people our age will watch a couple episodes and be like, why am I watching this? And like,
well, it's
I'm
kind of like, aren't they really rich? That was the whole concept behind 90210, right? Most of them were rich, so like we're just gonna be watching rich people problems.
They're going to high school in Beverly Hills.
I mean, like.
I think
rich people problems when you're like in your 50s isn't as hot, even as rich people problems when you're Gossip Girl age.
I don't know. Dallas was a big hit.
The fact that they're making it kind of comedic, maybe they are going to say something unique.
Desperate Housewives is where it's going for. That demo of like people that were in their teens during 90210 and are now in their
right, because it
40s.
Is kind of it's kind of a joke, that show, even if it took itself seriously at the time. It's like we look back on it and say, oh, that's hilarious, oh, that's something we cared about. So they might be just trying to be very self-aware.
Isn't Megan, what's her name, married to the guy Brian? What's her name?
I don't know any of these people.
Know.
You know who I'm talking about. Megan Fox is married to
Brian Austin Green.
Yes.
Oh, really?
So I wonder if she's going to cameo.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Or am I making? Or I don't think she's a big get anymore.
Oh man, who is she?
Yeah, she's kind of a big deal. She was on New Girl.
Oh, was she?
And she's crazy like a fox.
Right.
Yeah, they were
like Chad Michael Murray or something.
No, she was married to Brian Austin Green. I do know that.
Yeah.
Because there was that big profile of her where she said that she doesn't believe like the pyramid. She thinks the pyramids were developed by aliens. And then she got her own history show for a while.
Oh, Jesus.
She is still married to Brian Austin Green.
Good for them. I hope they're happy.
They have 3 children.
Okay. Holy
and
shit.
They're learning about how the pyramids came from space.
Yeah.
I mean, she's the kind of person that I don't know this about, but I'm like, is she an anti-vaxxer? She seems like she might be an anti-vaxxer.
Mm-hmm. They should bring back...
Kids are just lousy with measles.
That's not funny anymore, like at this moment in time. There might be... a House episode about that.
Oh yeah, probably. Or at least one of the bits where he goes in and he
like. I think there's an anti-vaxxing one. Yeah.
You should vaccinate your kids.
Yeah. They should bring back Party of Five, where like they don't. It doesn't matter because they're old now, and so
right.
They,
and so the fact that their parents
yeah,
are dead is
exactly.
like, well,
they're just like other people who are like, yeah, our parents are dead
So
too.
either-
We're old
it's
now.
a bunch of people telling us like, we're really kind of sick of hearing about
Yeah.
your dead parents. Honestly,
I wonder, like, this show only focused on them, but most of them must have families that were supposed to be, you know, at least tertiarily, whatever. We were supposed to be like, yeah. Like, maybe it's going to be like the OC, isn't it? Just essentially?
I don't know. I didn't see the OC.
No.
Although I know Peter Gallagher and his eyebrows were in it.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Both of the eyebrows?
Both of them.
Wow.
It was a big get
Yeah.
It was,
for the OC.
yeah, Adam Brody, I feel like, is the biggest name to get out of there.
Yeah, for oh gosh, she was in The Sixth Sense as a little
Misha
girl.
Barton.
Misha Barton. She was a thing for a minute.
For a minute. Yeah, and then Rachel Bilson
I don't know
Yeah.
any of these fucking people.
and the guy who plays Detective Gordon on Gotham, who's married to,
Oh,
what's her
right.
name? The really hot chick. Malik something.
Good for them.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. It's all
I'm trying to give him my...
all that OC triv.
the stuff I do know, I kind of want to...
I want you guys to know that I know. That's what's important.
I want to contribute something to this.
You did
You've contributed
a
plenty.
lot.
Thank you. I brought it back to house, which is my
Yes.
favorite thing.
All right. What's the next trailer?
Maleficent.
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 Malfeasance.
Malfeasance
2 Electric
Mistress
Boogaloo.
of Evil.
Mistress of Evil is really the subtitle there. Love
Yep.
it.
It certainly is.
What? I never saw this one. The
Good.
first one.
It was good, I thought.
Okay. I mean,
never
I've
saw
heard
it.
nothing but good things about it.
It was a nice twist. It was kind of like one of those Wicked, like, or,
Right.
you know,
Yeah, but it had to sort of rewrite the story. Like Wicked kind of found a way to do it where you could. It still works without changing the Wizard of Oz.
but I think that's what this talks about in the promo, which is like, it's become a fable. It's become its own thing. And maybe it still has time to become
Okay.
the bad guy. I mean, her versus Michelle Pfeiffer, I would get ringside
Yes.
seats to that. Angelina Jolie versus Michelle Pfeiffer, already doing like the little riff off. I love
guess-
that.
I guess my question was because I hadn't seen the first one, so this
Okay.
is a legitimate question.
I'll tell you.
Is that like Wicked was sort of like that story was a statement. It was like kind of a standalone thing they did, right? It's weird to see something like that then spun off into a series. Is this something that can be done
So
with?
it was kind of like a feminist take on most of them, which is like she and Sleeping Beauty end up teaming up together, and it's like about how she's actually protecting Sleeping Beauty from this war. And it looks like in this one, her and Sleeping Beauty have a giant rift, because it actually was about how like the king was creating this war between the woods, which she's a protector of, and the kingdom.
So do you think do you think it's fine to keep tacking on to the story?
I mean, in the sense that is it ever fine to keep tacking on to a story?
Right.
Do I think there's a larger world to be built here? Like,
Yeah.
or something more to be said? Maybe. That Michelle Pfeiffer thing gives me hope that
Yeah,
there's
okay.
maybe a world out there.
That's
Okay.
fair.
Yeah, that was my only curiosity. My only other, again, having not seen the other film, so I don't feel like I have any authority to speak on it, this sequel, but I do, and this is something that's shared by good films and bad. I hate the look in this. I don't like the Oz the Great and Powerful had that look.
It's Snow White.
The Snow White, it's this like fantasy gritty look.
The Snow White? Which one's the Snow White? Oh, the Snow White and the
the-
Huntsman.
Yeah.
Huntsman, yeah.
There's something about it that bugs me, and it doesn't really have anything to do with the quality of the story. It's like, I wonder if it's like the same effects company or something. where
I
I'm just
like
like,
Maleficent the way it looks more than the other ones.
Yeah.
Also, the other thing about this story, at least the first one, was there were no boys. Like, again, like kind of like Captain Marvel, it's not like a love story. There's not any prince.
That's nice.
And there was a guy who turns into a crow who's sort of like Angelina Jolie's familiar, but like he was kind of cute, but he's not a love interest. And I'm wondering if they can just keep going in that direction.
Yeah.
Disney princesses without their prince is kind of an interesting way to go about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Take away the...
I'll watch the first one.
Because the story of Sleeping Beauty is kind of terrible. It's one of those ones where it's just like, just lie asleep until some
It's a
guy
really
comes and
fucked
kiss
up
you.
one.
Yeah.
That's why I liked
Yeah.
Cinderella 3. Well,
Ever After?
Well, no, Cinderella 3 was it's a time travel one.
What the hell?
And
are you
what
talking
happens?
About?
It's the third straight to DVD Cinderella movie.
Is it animated?
Yes. And what happens is the wicked stepmother gets the fairy godmother's wand and goes back in time and erases what happens at the end of the first Cinderella.
What the hell?
So that one of the evil stepsisters becomes the prince's wife, and they get married. She makes the slipper fit, and she fucks over Cinderella so she doesn't escape the castle. And what that does, though, is then they all move in together, and she's just like still treated like Cinderella, and it gives both the prince and Cinderella time to actually like get to know each other and fall in love that way.
Yeah,
and it actually makes the story better in the sense that in the ending of Cinderella, they're just like, well, the shoe fits, so you're my wife now, and everybody's kind of a dummy. This one, like, Cinderella has to like really again, they get to know each other and they fall in love that way, and Cinderella's really badass in it, and like
I liked Ever After for the same reason, but I'm very interested in the idea of like time travel as an element.
They trap her in a pumpkin carriage with no windows, and she has to like
that seems
bust
like hell.
out of it.
That seems like a Black Mirror episode.
Oh yeah, she busts out of it and climbs on the top of it and like jumps to the other carriage like she's John McClane. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah,
it's fucking great.
I just think my favorite Disney movies of late have been the ones like Moana and stuff where there's no prince to save them. It's like more of a statement about Disney princesses where we are today.
Sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. I liked Frozen had that twist,
yeah.
And Brave did that as well. Yeah, I love that shit.
Yep.
Oh, also the wicked stepsister in it. They also make her like more of a three-dimensional character who realizes what she's doing is wrong, and like she comes to peace with Cinderella, so it's not there's less like just villains and good people. It's like it's a great movie.
That's
Everybody
Never
watch
After.
that.
But in the original canon of Cinderella, they do make the shoe fits on the stepsisters by cutting off their toes and heels respectively, because that shit was dark.
Pretty hardcore.
It was dark.
Put them in barrels with nails nailed into it and rolled them down the hill into a river.
Right.
But you know what they didn't have? Time travel.
No time travel. They didn't fucking
should be more time.
I feel like
Hans Christian Andersen or whoever didn't think that shit up.
If you introduce the concept of time travel into like happily ever after movies, everything goes off the rails.
It really fucks
for
with
sure.
them.
That's a Deadpool 2 situation.
Yeah.
What's next?
Next, this movie fucking jumped out of nowhere. This is a movie this morning I was like, what the fuck? Where did this come from?
Let's
Guys,
talk about this.
Let's talk about Angel Has Fallen, the third
in the
Olympus Has Fallen and London Has Fallen series.
But not in the White House Down series that came out the same year and sound remarkably similar.
White House Down is
Different
better.
film.
It's objectively better, I think.
Yeah, it's like a 90s action movie directed by
Roland Emmerich.
Well,
it's also specifically written to be a Die Hard movie. If you look, he's wearing.
Are you talking about White House Down or
White House Down?
Yeah.
Because it's very, very Die Hard. The whole plot, the look of the good guys in a tank top the whole time with like steel, it has the radio of the bad guy and shit like that.
It feels like this movie is trying to like do a Michael Crichton. Like, is this character supposed to be like a? Is he supposed to be like a Jack Ryan figure that we care about him that much?
That's not Michael. That's Tom Clancy.
It's Tom Clancy. I'm so sorry, but I feel what I'm talking about. Harrison Ford or
yeah. This man,
or still Tom Clancy. I'm still thinking of,
or your John Krasinski.
I had to do the math to make sure that this presidency would still be.
It's the vice president. It's the former
vice president now. Yeah.
No, Morgan Freeman was the vice president. Now he is the president.
I just think if so many people are trying to kill this administration, there's probably something wrong with it.
Yeah,
that we're not
doing
seeing
horrible war crimes.
No, I think the idea is that the first two movies were kind of xenophobic in the way that they were about North Korea and like Pakistan as the bad guys.
Was London is falling? Was that even related to the president directly, or was it like
it was? More, both of them have to do more around like a G8 kind of summit idea.
Right.
This one, if you notice on the phone when he's like, I'm going to come get you, whatever, it kind of sounds like it's Alec Baldwin.
Oh, no.
Which would be interesting. Like, what if it's the state, like, the actual state trying to bring down the presidency?
Or like fucking white supremacists. Like, let's start making
they have all
them
the drones.
let's start making them the fucking terrorist bad guys in these movies.
Absolutely.
Well, Iron Man 3.
Oh, yeah.
Miguel Ferrer was the villainous vice president.
Yeah.
My Fellow Americans.
Are these white supremacists?
Oh, no.
Bad guys? Yeah, I'm thinking like
deep state,
I'm thinking
state. you know.
Yeah, because there's been so many where it's just like, Middle Eastern terrorists with
and we're so
generic.
over that.
Yeah,
it doesn't say anything about our time, but it will never be like someone from the South, white, that thing, because then they'll lose half their audience.
Yeah.
It's gotta be. Also,
not if they're like Nazis, like hardcore Nazis.
So is the plot of this that they're trying to pin it on him, but maybe that was the plan all along to get him out of the way?
It's Taken 3. It's because it's the exact same feeling I have because the Taken movies. I think Liam Neeson even said like, I'm not going to do any more of these because how many times can this guy lose his fucking family?
Yeah,
like that's
absurd.
That's on him at this point, and so that's why Taken 3 was like, okay, now he's been taken.
Yeah,
interesting.
So I think they're doing the same thing here, where it's he's fallen, and
Mm-hmm.
I think it's for the same reason of like this guy's a bad agent if he keeps letting this shit happen on his watch.
I think it's supposed to. First of all, what's he supposed to do about terrorists? All he's supposed to do in the Secret Service. He's not like the CIA. All he can do is protect the president.
Yeah, I feel like they could have like preventative measures more in place, or like see these like the Secret Service. The Secret Service does like background checks and like they like look for potential threats.
Speaking of background checks. So we're supposed to care who his father is in this one, which is...
that's weird.
And also, like, the way that they introduce him... By the way, his father's Nick Nolte.
It sure is.
Living off the grid. Living 100% off the grid. Like a Key and Peele sketch. Like, literally the most generic, like, TV sitcom sketch of somebody living off the grid.
He's such a wolf man in this.
I'm guessing he was like, you have to film at my place. And they're like, this is where you live? All right, I guess we'll write it in that you're like a maniac.
Query who would have been another good candidate for playing his father, like a Harrison Ford type.
They couldn't get Harrison Ford.
Like a Busey.
A Busey. There needs to be more Busey for sure.
Yeah, we're in a serious Busey deficiency right now.
A Kurt.
Debussy.
Kurt Russell?
Yeah.
They could probably get Kurt Russell. I don't know. I feel like Kurt Russell has... higher standards right now. He was in a Marvel movie.
He was.
That doesn't mean
He's
much.
also in those Fasts and Furiouses.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a movie.
It's definitely a movie.
Just an old, confused Morgan Freeman. Every shot you see him in this movie, he's just wide-eyed, like, why am I here?
And the idea is, I think that he's somehow like indisposed. He's put into a coma or something, so he can't speak for himself. Yeah.
He can't tell him a Gerard Butler to try to assassinate him.
Because the other two movies have Sorry,
Morgan. Oh no, it's Morgan Freeman likes money, but he doesn't want to be in the movie that much.
Yes,
is what's going on.
Because in the other two movies, Aaron Eckhart had a big role to play. Like they were buddies almost, and like Aaron Eckhart thwarted a bunch of shit too as the president. I feel like, especially in London.
How are they gonna get rid of Aaron Eckhart in here? And this
his administration. Yeah,
he's not the president. It'd be amazing. We find out he was assassinated. It's like, oh well, you guys are. He's just the worst Secret Service agent.
You're the worst.
I guess that was my first thought, and I thought, no, the whole point is he's good at his job.
Oh man!
It did say characters created by in the Wikia, which makes me think that this is some bigger concept.
Right. They should do one where fucking Butler gets kidnapped and Morgan Freeman has to kill terrorists to save him.
I want to see Morgan Freeman chewing his way through.
I want to see one on a boat.
Armed gunman.
I want to see one that takes place on a boat that goes really fast.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like a cruise ship?
Like a cruise ship.
Like a cruise ship.
I'd watch that.
For sure. What's the next trailer?
Always Be My Maybe.
Love it.
This looks pretty good.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for this.
This is Netflix.
Ali Wong and Randall Park.
And two very special cameos.
Oh, yeah. Daniel Day Kim and fucking Keanu Reeves shows up.
Keanu Reeves absolutely shows up.
Now, this is interesting because it's one of those Netflix, but it's going to be in select theaters.
Yeah.
Most likely because it is really like helming towards the Crazy Rich Asian thing, trying to do some pickup on that. Or like, which, by the way, is a fantastic film. And my only like concern about this is why didn't this come out sooner?
Right.
The Crazy Rich Asian.
Because you know why.
I mean... Maybe, except that, like, it does seem like this is a good trend. Yeah. It's diverse. It's interesting. Sure. And it works really well as its own comedy, its own rom-com. Yeah. This looks hysterically funny.
It's just a good rom-com, which I always kind of like. It's I don't know. It looks delightful.
To your point, the execution looks great. I've seen this story of, like, a girl gone rich coming home. This is Sweet Home Alabama. This is
Right,
like Hope
sure.
Floats.
Yeah,
but
Hope
that's the thing is
Floats,
this is sort of, at least for me, rom-coms are like horror movies where it's like, I've seen this plot before, I'm going to watch the shit out of this movie. I don't care.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it still works every time.
Yeah, well, it's not even that I'm going to watch this one because it's, an Asian cast. It's like, this one looks particularly funny. This one looks
Yes, it
very
does look
good.
funny.
Yeah,
Very
like the
funny.
people in it.
Yeah. Ali Wong hasn't been in a starring role yet. I love her.
And yeah, Keanu is straight off of the John Wick set, it feels like.
Oh yeah, they filmed. Yeah,
He's still
This is-
sweaty from doing a scene.
yeah. This is very much Keanu on a day off of John Wick.
Yeah.
Oh, he looks great.
He's-
I mean, yeah.
he's
And
the best.
also, Randall Park, is that his name?
Uh-huh.
He never gets a starring role in anything except
Yeah.
Fresh Off the Boat.
Fresh off the boat. Yeah,
But this is like him as a romantic lead, which I think is great. I think that
he
he
got to play Kim Jong Il in the
Did he?
interview.
you got to
he's
play
Kim Jong-il in the
Asian
interview.
Jim in what episode of The Office? He
oh,
shows
sh-
up.
Oh shit, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They mess with Dwight by just pretending like Jim's been Asian this whole time, and they change all the photos and stuff.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's delightful.
Yeah,
Not much to say except go see this in theaters.
Yeah.
if you
A lot of
can.
agreeable, I feel like a lot of agreeable
a lot of
trailers.
films. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I mean, this will be on Netflix. I think in a couple weeks,
hmm
Yeah.
maybe a week or two. Like
Yeah.
the end of May.
But if
It's a
you
good
can,
Netflix
it is going to be
release.
select theaters.
Yeah,
But
if
if you
you're
can,
able to see it, sure.
go see it in theaters.
Yeah. Okay, final trailer is Batman Hush.
It's another animated Batman film, so that means Jeff and I will probably be watching it.
I had sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I had a question that I asked Jeff earlier today, and I want to ask you, because you guys keep coming to my place to record these episodes.
Which
and
I
every-
listen to weekly.
Nice. And you've been doing the animated movies, and every time I'm like, how is this one? You guys are like, oh, Christ. Are there good ones?
Yeah.
Yes.
sure.
Okay.
There are good ones.
Mask of the Phantasm, I know, is
Mass
great.
Phantasm is a good one. Some of the ones that have been made by the direct-to-video
Okay.
are Under the Red Hood's good.
Okay.
There are some good ones.
What is your take on this as a Batman aficionado?
Well, this was a really good series. It was a limited series. It's one of the more popular Batman stories from, I think, the 2000s.
I was about to say, bringing Superman into it seems like a big deal.
Oh yeah, he's being mind controlled by Poison Ivy. It is wild. This storyline brings pretty much every single major Batman villain in some way, and it's all being organized by this new villain named Hush, and there's like a big mystery around who Hush is. The only thing I have to say about it is that they've already done one of the big things in Hush was revealing that there was a fake reveal that Hush was actually Jason Todd, who was a former Robin of Batman's who
Right.
got beat to death with a crowbar by the Joker.
Because he
very
does have a Robin
famously.
in this, right?
He does, yeah.
Wait, sorry. Beaten to death
Beaten to death with a crowbar
by the Joker?
and then exploded.
That is Baroque AF. Like, that is some way to go out. Out of
It
all
is.
those Joker gas and all the crazy things, just beating someone to death with a crowbar
And then he-
seems
and then he-
gritty as hell.
And then he blows him up.
Okay, well, that's fine.
But it's a fake reveal. It turns out to just be Clayface making like a clay double to look like Jason Todd, but it was
Yeah.
like
Oh,
it was
it's like the Ditto
that
issue.
clay
of
basically, yeah,
Pikachu.
yeah. So the reason I bring it up is because they've already done an animated movie of Under the Red Hood, which is bringing Jason Todd back to life. So they can't do that very interesting twist in this movie because we've already seen it.
Okay.
Is this one of like the Deadwood things where it's like all the enemies become friends? It kind of seems like no. So it's every enemy's. So even Harley Quinn, who appears in this, and we learn that the Joker's been taken out by Hush, she's still anti-Batman and not Team Batman against.
Not to my memory.
Against the guy who took away the Joker.
To my memory, yeah.
At some point, shouldn't the government just show up and be like, okay, we're taking all these people in?
Yeah, they should.
Batman, you, I don't care, Robin.
The Joker should be in Fort Leavenworth.
Yeah, they
Like-
just be like, what's going on in this city? Going to the mayor like, what the fuck is happening?
Why are all these mutant terrorists
Yeah.
here?
Or like when you combine that plus Superman, you're like, where is
Yeah.
God?
Right.
Where's a
Where
just
is
God?
God in all of
Where's a just God in this? It seems like from the trailer also that it's now a female run, like, underground bad guy system in Gotham. We see Poison Ivy, we see Catwoman, we see Harley Quinn, we see Maybe that's it, but I feel like we hadn't seen any of the dudes, and we just hear about.
We don't. We see. I think they may either be saving some of the bad guys, or they may be trimming it down because you can't. These movies tend to only be slightly over an hour long.
I mean, just smash out that patriarchy, Hush.
Yeah,
smash
the patriarchy, Hush. Hush is a dude.
I know, but like maybe he's an ally.
No, doesn't work.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, I'll watch this.
Sure, I know you will.
They're very
have to.
They're very hit or miss. These animated movies.
The goggle Catwoman is like a direct kind of Gotham-y thing, or like that's a new wave Catwoman, right?
Newish.
Yeah.
But yeah, looks fine.
All right.
Who can say?
Huh. But probably you.
Yeah, I could say.
And you will.
Jeff just left. We can sit Jeff down and ask him about Hush.
All right. Well, that's it for trailers. Let's move on to the news stories.
Yeah.
News stories.
Yes, queen.
And a motorcycle that you're probably hearing.
Oh, I paid that guy to do that when I did the news stories.
Today we were at Collider and they were filming something outside with every couple minutes we'd hear this loud banging noise and then gunshots. And then did you see while you were leaving what they were filming?
I just saw them filming in the building next door.
They were filming definitely something involving the KKK, hoods and all.
Oh, I heard about the hoods. Yeah, I heard about the hoods.
It was intense.
Wow.
Man. Maybe it's Bad Boys 3.
Oh, maybe it is.
Michael Shannon is back as the luckless Klansman.
Oh, please. The revenge.
Revenge of Michael Shannon.
Yeah. Okay, the first thing I wrote on the stock. Do we want to talk about Game of Thrones?
Yeah, I could do it. No one's asked me to talk about Game of Thrones yet.
Yeah.
Well, in terms of what?
In terms of the finale is going to be happening this weekend.
Yes.
And everybody's very mad at the last episode.
Mainly moms who name their kids Daenerys.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I don't have too much to say about it that probably hasn't been said already. I think they telegraphed her turn plenty.
They did.
I think the turn was stupid, though.
I think it was done abruptly.
Yeah. It's
this was just mashed up. Everything feels like way too quick now.
Right.
It's the Revenge of the Sith.
Yes.
Yeah,
like
Anakin.
They set up, Anakin's going to turn evil, but he does it very suddenly and kind of for no reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the final turn is very.
I liked how Cersei and Jaime ended up. Like, people are like, that death wasn't like, they didn't owe them that death.
I'm going to go on record and say I don't think they're dead yet.
Oh, I think one of them's still alive, probably.
Yeah, I think Jaime must be dead. I'm imagining Cersei coming out of the rubble and looking at Jaime like, oh, oof.
We'll see.
Yeah,
I'm throwing it down and saying I don't think those characters are dead yet.
That was a beautiful end to them if they were dead, however, though. I thought that was like the moment that actually made me... That moment made me cry.
Hard disagree.
I don't even think it, like, people are saying that it made Jaime, like, go back and it, retcons him to be bad all along, or he didn't actually redeem himself. I don't think so. I feel like he's still redeemed just because he went back to see his sister lover.
Sister wife.
We'll see.
Yeah. I think it's.
He can't be alive. He was stabbed.
Right, but why do that? Like, why do that work? Why have the prophecy about Cersei's death and her children be 100% true except for how she dies? Like, why would it...
What was the prophecy about? Well, they didn't bring the prophecy into...
killed by her younger brother.
Her younger brother?
Yeah.
Well, kind of. Tyrion brought them to the gates.
Maybe.
And by the way, how many prophecies have come true? Like in the show, they build up the Bran.
Cersei's specific one has, but I'm not saying it won't because...
But they're
not the best storytellers.
They have terrible loopholes because Bran got to fly, but not as a dragon. He got to fly as like a crow.
Yeah. And then why leave the question of the baby hanging in the air?
Does this mean Arya's gonna fucking kill?
She's done. I don't think she's done killing.
I don't know. I legit don't know.
Because isn't that eye thing? The killing people with the blue eyes and the whatever.
That was the White Walker.
That was the White Walker.
But there was like they named like 3 different eye colors. She's gonna kill
green and brown. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think that, like, maybe the one thing about this finale is, okay, you've had these 2 major battles. The penultimate episodes are usually the best here. Now they have to wrap it up. They might still have a point for Bran. Bran still might be able to warg into that dragon.
Let's hope so.
Because what else?
He hasn't done shit.
They can't beat that dragon unless Bran wargs into a dragon, finally.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see.
I don't know, man.
I really can't predict anything. I legit don't know.
I still am like Team Varys, but then again, I'm still Team Bolton.
That's a weird team to be on.
I really like that actor. That
Sure.
Yeah, it's a good actor.
He's a good actor.
And he's a great big bad. Like,
yeah, he
that
is.
season. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just what a weirdo. Although Euron eventually grew on me too with his
Euron.
How happy he was to have like killed the king.
Oh yeah.
Kingslayer.
Yeah. Oh.
Someone photoshopped him with a bunch of like white trash things.
Yeah,
on him.
got, like a bunch of cigarette butts and beer cans next to his head on the beach.
It's
Then
pretty great.
him wearing like an I big MILF hunter or
Yeah.
something shirt. It was excellent.
It feels like this season hasn't been thought through, and then they just kind of like
Well,
ham everything in there,
Yeah,
like the
no.
wildfire. Okay, it still
It just-
exists.
I mean, everybody's pointed this out. It's just they stretched out the story for so long
Yeah.
in previous seasons, and now that it's ending, like, oh shit, we'd actually never really advanced a lot of
Right.
this, so they have to rush so
But they
much.
could have
in these
advanced
last
them
few
in
episodes.
this last season by taking less time to like build up to the White Walker.
Oh,
thing.
for sure.
Like take a beat, like just within the story. I know what
Yeah.
they had to do, but like within the
Yeah.
story, it doesn't make any sense that Daenerys is like, nope, we go to war now.
And I mean, her turn is just so like they could have gotten us there. It's just the fact, like when she takes that dragon after the bells ring, and I'm like, oh, she's gonna go directly after Cersei because that's what her character would do.
Well,
And they're just like, no, she's just gonna kill everybody but Cersei for a while, and it was like, why is this happening?
Someone also pointed out that Tyrion has like literally gone on record being like, I wish you were all killed at the Red Wedding. I like wish you would all be
Right.
poisoned and die. He hates those people. And now he's like, but what about the Geneva Convention?
You're right. It's just
Well, he
it's-
was talking.
it's all
He was
very sloppy.
talking about all the dickheads in court that are screwing him over.
Yeah.
And when he said, "I wish you were all poisoned at the Red Wedding."
No, he said, I wish I never saved you all at the blacks at the.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. When they're like booing him and everything.
Yeah,
It's
they
like,
hate him.
Fuckers, I saved you.
And
It's chaos.
And she's
It's
killed
just-
people before, but at this point, she was killing her allies. She was
Yeah.
killing people on the
Yeah.
ground. She could have killed
Women
everyone.
and children.
But they were really telegraphing it. Like, I guess I don't have sympathy for the people who are like, I can't believe she's evil, or I can't, because it is like, I don't.
Jon
I never
Snow's
thought,
reaction face is amazing. his whoops.
Yeah, all the fucking Jon Snows out there who are like, never didn't see this coming. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you should have.
You really should have. You really should have.
Yeah, I think ultimately the show. I know this isn't a brave stance, but I never saw this show as particularly well written. I guess like it's been
Oh.
a lot of fun. This show. But it's all kind of a soap opera. Like it's
Never
all
felt this like I've never peeked behind the curtains
Right.
as much where I feel them trying as hard.
it's always been geared towards shocking people. Like it's always been the like let's have big shocking moments. And I don't know, like I wasn't that surprised that this episode went so wrong for that reason.
I know
Especially
this-
since they're now rushing it.
Yeah, because this Game of Thrones works because it's usually so much like courtside espionage. It's so much like,
Right.
building
Character
up
stuff.
character
Yeah.
stuff. And now it's just all like battle.
Yep.
Battle. I think that they're probably going to well, the throne doesn't exist anymore, right?
For
Yeah.
sure.
The
Yeah.
Iron Throne was definitely melted.
Right.
So
Probably.
good luck with that, Daenerys.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yes, we will.
move
Okay,
on.
guys. James Wan is producing a Mortal Kombat film.
Yeah.
And we kind of have a sense of the cast.
Do we?
Yeah, there's been a rumored of a cast list so far. You guys want to hear
Wait,
it?
I would
wait,
love to hear
is
it.
is Johnny Cage going to be Patrick Wilson?
No, but that was my first joke
yeah.
too.
Okay. Because why isn't he?
Patrick Wilson might be Raiden.
Nope.
Well, James
Liam,
Wan's not directing it.
Yeah.
Liam Neeson, Raiden.
Mm.
This is the rumor. Vin Diesel is Shao Kahn. Megan Fox is Kitana. Jason Momoa, Nightwolf.
So they're just whitewashing the
They're
shit
just
out of
saying
this.
things, yeah.
Ronda Rousey, Sonya Blade.
Wait,
Well,
who-
she's in the game, so
Michael J. White, Jax.
he's played Jax in the web series.
And
yeah.
there's Robin Shaw, who's also been Liu.
He was Liu Kang in the past. Yeah.
Exactly. Johnny Cage is supposed to be Scott Adkins. No, these are rumors. We don't know how
Okay.
many are true, but it feels right that they're bringing back some of the game people.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. That most of that sounds pretty bogus to me. That sounds like fan wishing.
Fair.
they should bring back what's his name to play Raiden? Not
Christopher Lambert,
No,
James Remar.
James Remar. Let's get more James.
Never
Remar.
give up hope.
Yeah, let's get a more Remar.
The
I don't care how old he
Remar-sons.
is.
Raiden's supposed to be old.
Isn't
Yeah.
Raiden supposed to be Asian though? Isn't the character
Yeah,
in the video
well,
game?
How many times have Liam Neeson played a character that's probably
know.
supposed to be Asian?
I'm just saying.
Dark Knight or Batman Begins.
The 90s movie didn't make any. Didn't. Well,
No, I mean he's not. Yeah, I guess so. They've kind of retconned that now.
He's,
So
I mean, he should
Lord
be right.
Protector
He's
of Earthrealm.
Yeah,
so.
right.
Here's the thing that makes me think that it's not just fanboy wishing, because a lot of the other casts that I haven't mentioned yet, mainly because I'm afraid of mispronouncing either their names or the names of their characters, like, they're all, like, big Asian action people. Like, this guy, and the guy who's playing Sub-Zero. And
that's the thing. They should be mostly stuntmen,
Daniel,
right?
this is very fan casting.
Really? Manu Bennett as Kano?
As Kano?
Yep.
Who's Kano?
Manu Bennett.
They should get the guy who played Euron to play. He could do it. He could do
Kano.
Oh my god, he needs to be in everything now, but mostly playing Nazis like he did in...
mostly playing Nazi rapists like he did in Overlord.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
He's such a slimy character actor.
Which would make him a great Kano.
He's a perfect Kano. He's a scumbag.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm psyched. They better not change the theme.
What's the theme? Wait.
The Mortal Kombat theme.
Mortal Kombat! Dun, 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 dun.
I didn't know the franchise of Mortal Kombat had continued, like, after the movie. I thought it was dead in the water. No, there's been games, there's been movies, there's been...
Oh, yeah.
Mortal Kombat is, I'm going to say, one of the coolest things ever. It's just cool.
Hard
it's real
agree.
Cool.
I will say that I am traumatized by Mortal Kombat because it's the first game that me and my dad played together on my like Super Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever he beat me, he used to just like wail in my face like, "We are the champions, no time for losers." So the first time I ever heard that Queen song, I was like, they stole that from my dad. They stole it from my dad playing Mortal Kombat. None of the stories, lines, or anything in Mortal Kombat seemed to me a particularly compelling movie.
See, I think the movie that came out did a good storyline. I thought that was as good as an adaptation. Yeah, it's just the story.
It's just
because it's a tournament. It's a tournament for the fate of the Earth. For some fucking weird reason, some gods are like, y'all have to do fighting. On loose tournaments with no real rules.
No, by the way, they all team up then against the old gods.
A lot of them team up, yeah.
But they first have to go through that tournament ranking system, which I find
it is
boring.
Thick with mythology.
Yeah,
it's been 20 years. Yeah, it'll be. Yes.
James Wan is as good at doing this.
Well,
He'll
he's
be
a
fine.
producer.
The director has never done anything like no credits, 0 credits.
Perfect.
That's good. That's good.
Yep.
Perfect.
I'm very excited.
They're spending a ton of money on it.
And
good.
James Wan putting his name behind something, that means something.
Yeah, for sure.
This is all good news. Speaking of maybe good news, I don't know. We got a first look at the Picard Star Trek, which is named Star Trek Picard.
Yes.
That is what they are calling it.
And it's not earlier years.
And we've gotten a first look, which is a logo that says Star Trek Picard in the Star Trek.
And we've seen what he's looked like. We've seen
one
picture.
Yes, we get a picture behind the scenes, which is of Patrick Stewart.
So literally, this is Star Trek : Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
It's going to be
picture of Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, and they're just like, this is Picard. And it's like, yes we know. Is. He's not even wearing the uniform. He's in a black turtleneck.
Well, because this is about his dark psychological torment in his later years. This isn't about the Starfleet.
Yes.
This is about his older years.
Right, and this is already
in a home.
Terrible news.
Golden
because
years.
They could do something good with this. Like they need to look at how the Orville got success and say to themselves, maybe we shouldn't make all our Star Treks gritty and dark. And maybe if we're doing something, a continuation of TNG, let's not make it like a dark Picard story.
Or not make it a singular story, because that's not what Star Trek's about. It's not about one person's journey.
No, it's a procedural. It's every new episode is something new, and like it's the Twilight Zone, but in space.
I like the idea that Patrick Stewart is now just like in for TV. That's what he wants to be doing, and he's like just needs something to do with his hands.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he can't escape this role.
I don't think he wants to.
I don't think he wants to either, which is funny because when he first started, he thought it was only going to last like a season, and he had no attachment to the role.
This is definitely a TV show for people who are our age.
Yes.
And what's coming out on? It's like...
Probably their goddamn
it's on their streaming service. They're still pushing that.
So you have 2 Star Treks?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just don't trust him. I don't trust him.
Why would you? Why would you?
Trust who?
Just them.
Any of the people making Star Trek.
Yeah.
I trust Patrick Stewart to like want them to honor the TNJ.
See, I don't know. I trust Patrick Stewart to be a real chill guy.
Yeah.
I've taken shots with him before. He is a very chill guy.
Yeah.
I waited. I profiled him.
He
before.
doesn't seem
He's
like
great.
he doesn't seem like a man who's gonna take the mythology that seriously, nor should he.
I think he has his reputation to protect, and he does
Yeah.
guard that pretty well.
I hope you're right there.
He also cares about very random stuff. Like in New York, he really cares that there's like a bike lane. He doesn't want there to be bike lanes. He
I
doesn't
hate
want there
bike
to be like
lanes.
strollers on the street. He says like give them the bike lanes. Like he has a lot of Brooklyn-based issues that he's feminine about.
Good for him.
It's funny.
Good for him.
For a minute, I thought he was just like, no bike lanes.
No, he doesn't like the bikes in New York. He thinks they're a nuisance.
No, I agree. I lived in Chicago, and they were like, it was like they were treated like pigeons, like people on bikes. Like if you hit them with your car, it was like, it's a fine.
Yeah.
Because they did all these bike lanes in Chicago, but they didn't really actually like try. They just like painted a line on the side of the road.
I just remember he hates anything involving children, like children in bars. No. Children on the street. Like, no.
Yeah,
He
you
just-
gotta.
Yeah, children probably shouldn't be in bars.
Yeah, you gotta get them out of there, out of society.
I mean, like, okay, that's a whole other.
Yeah, let's
That's our
move on.
card cast.
Okay, let's move on to
Cardcast?
prices.
Jean-Luc Picast.
Speaking
Oh
of
man.
speaking of James
Fuck.
Wan related substance,
Yeah. Okay. So Chris Rock is rebooting the Saw franchise.
how, why, what is the Saw franchise even over?
What is that?
I think so, yeah.
Jigsaw was supposed to be the last of the Saw movies. Interesting.
Yeah. What is that? What's going on?
Is Chris Rock okay?
I
Isn't he
don't know.
doing Fargo next season?
Yes, which is very exciting. This is a weird one. I feel like Chris Rock just happens to be a fan of Saw and like ran into a producer at a bar or something.
So
and
he
was
learned
like, I love Saw. And
James
they're like,
Wan
"All right."
at a bar then.
Yeah, exactly. And they were like, well, we're not doing anything with it. Fuck it.
But maybe it's going to be good. I mean, the Saw movies have been so lacking
Yeah.
since number one.
Yeah, the first Saw movie was I really enjoyed it, and then I thought about it.
Yeah, I really didn't like it at the
And
time.
it falls apart.
Yes.
It falls apart completely. Every subsequent one, I have a fondness for the last three, Jigsaw aside, the last three that were all about the subprime mortgage crisis and killing off lawyers, state lawyers, and specifically people involved
Is
with.
that what it's about?
Yes, whoever did the last three Saw movies, like really
One of
had
them's
their.
about like a person who makes decisions for a medical insurance company.
Yep, a medical. That's another thing. Insurance, subprime mortgage crisis, estate lawyers. It was really tied into the times.
So, wow.
Somebody had a very specific vendetta.
Yeah, someone had a chip on their shoulder.
I
with
wonder
those.
if Chris Rock is like, I could do better by
Yeah.
these
Maybe.
concepts.
Yeah.
By
He really
rebooting them.
believes in the Saw series.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Weird is good. Like with stuff like this, where it's so oddly specific that there must be a reason for it, right?
Mhm.
Jigsaw
Like-
must be like some bigger concept to him.
Yeah, because if this was just like J.J. Abrams is doing a Saw, it's like, well, J.J.
Just better
Abrams does
traps.
everything.
He likes money.
Yeah, exactly.
Saw movies have been so reliant on the traps for so long that like rebooting the concept of them to be about something maybe
Good.
good, like just
Yeah.
having some sort of backbone there that's stronger than let's look at all these interesting traps that this guy developed.
Right. It was weird. I worked at Universal Studios during their Halloween Horror Nights.
I've been
They
to
had
one of those.
they had a Saw maze.
Yep.
And like all I thought was like, why aren't we helping any of these people? Because like no one's trying to attack us. It's just like here's a bunch of people.
Because it's
We're
kill
being
or be
tortured.
killed.
And it's like, let's help these people.
Can't do that. They've
Yeah.
tried that in movies before. There can only be one winner, I guess, who cares about their life the most.
Right. No,
What's
I just mean
next?
in the context of the maze. Like, just jump in there. They're
Don't-
right there in front
No
of you.
touching.
New Rick and Morty season 4 in November.
Yep, there was an announcement video.
Yeah, there's going to be, this is season 4 of like 30 seasons that they have planned.
I have two writers that are partners who are working on this
Nice.
this season that I'm very excited to see because they're both very good writers. What else is there to say? So far,
Not
Rick and
much,
Morty.
really.
Rick and Morty has been great so far.
Yeah.
It's been very good.
Yeah.
I hate the fan base.
I hate the handmaids.
Yeah,
But the show itself is very good.
If they do another one of those McDonald's things, I'm gonna like
right.
lose my freaking mind. The Szechuan sauce.
Yeah, but I trust them to be good.
Yeah, of
Um,
course. Why not? There's not been a bad episode yet.
Yeah. Okay. More TV news. There's a Snowpiercer series coming to TBS.
In 2020.
What? So TBS is still around.
Oh,
apparently.
TBS did a reboot a couple of years ago, and
Oh,
it
did
got
they?
pretty good, right? Like it had.
They have some shows. I don't remember what's on it.
Oh, it's one of them is what's her name show, Sarah Violet Bliss, who went to my college. It is Search Party, and it is very good.
Yes, yeah.
Search Party is excellent. Samantha Bee is on TBS.
Okay.
It's got a couple
and
things.
Conan's on one of them, isn't he?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
My biggest question with this is like, why? Snowpiercer is a great film, in my opinion.
I don't know. I mean,
I could explore that world a little more because they did have like so many sections that like, going from the back of the train to the front of the train.
Right, but it's sort of the story.
it may be more conceptual. Like,
Yeah.
when I heard they were making a series out of Fargo, it's like, really?
Well, Snowpiercer, you can't get that conceptual. You're naming it after the train. What they're probably going to do is a lot of flashbacks to like who these people were before
Before the
Lost
train.
Style.
Yeah, that's
it's going to be
true.
like a Lost style thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And depending on who they get, it could be pretty well integrated. I could see this maybe becoming a thing. But
For a couple of seasons, maybe.
we know how Snowpiercer ends is the problem.
Yeah, that's what I don't know. Is this going to be... Yeah,
This train goes in a
after it?
circle.
Is this going to be... I don't know. It feels like...
Can't be after.
Well, I mean, it's the same... The idea of turning Westworld into a TV show is
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, that's true.
But Snowpiercer
I
is so
still think
located
it's
on
insane.
that train. You can't, like, if they're going to shoot, like, scenes outside of the train, I don't want to see it. Because that was so amazing about the TV show, about the film, was that it was all stuck in this very cramped location.
Yeah.
You can use flashbacks, that's just cheap, but I don't want to see anything outside of the train happening.
That's fair.
And I want to know who's playing Tilda Swinton's character, because she was the best.
Yeah, she was pretty good. I think originally that character was written as a man, and then it was well, it kind of doesn't matter.
Absolutely. She was on the last episode of What We Live in the Shadows, or What We Do,
What we do in the
Shadows.
shadows.
It was amazing.
I need to watch that show.
That show is incredible.
What's next?
Emma Thompson and Emma Stone are doing a live-action Cruella DeVille film. I knew about this. Has been happening for a while.
Which one's playing Cruella?
I assume Emma Thompson.
Really?
I don't know. Didn't they do this? Didn't they already do this?
No.
The
Did
two
they do-
Emmas?
They
I mean,
did
they're doing all
101
of
Dalmatians, a live action.
Yes, with Hugh Laurie.
Oh, yeah.
Housecast?
Yeah.
They did with
Housecast.
Glenn Close, yeah. I mean, they already did Lion King.
Who's the other chick? But who's the other chick in Cruella DeVille? The wife of the guy
Yeah.
with the...
Is this going to be like from her perspective? Are we going to learn that
All right,
like
it's going
why
to be
she's
Maleficent, and she's
Yeah,
like,
and
She's playing the dogs.
she was
actually
attacked by
stealing the dogs
Dalmatians?
because, like, she's saving them from a house.
Yes, maybe
No,
I
kinda
could see
fuck
that.
Like,
I'd be interested in seeing like the wicked version of 101 Dalmatians. Let's see
Well-
what they do with it. Besides her just being like trying to make puppies into coats. Let's
Yep.
see what kind of backstory we can give her.
Even if she's trying to make them into coats, they have 101 of those Dalmatians in their little fucking house. Like, that's gross.
Maybe she's trying to spay
Like,
them.
if it's just like, look, I'm going to need some of those dogs. Yeah, your house is gross. Give me some of them dogs. I'll make them into a fancy coat. It's like, all right, why not?
See
You
my
got
best?
101.
Yes.
Yeah.
here's a quarter. Call someone who cares. She starts dialing 911.
Is this the one with the Siamese cats?
No,
That's Lady and the Tramp.
Lady and Tramp. I know it was announced that Lady and Tramp will not include the Siamese cats, and I was like, yeah, no shit.
But it will include Tessa Thompson and Justin Theroux voicing the Lady and the Tramp respectively.
And Janelle Monáe's in it, too, I think.
I think we're going to start seeing this Disney live action thing spiral out of control.
It has spiraled. We've been watching. It's been spiraling out of control since the first time they did it.
Oh yeah, but I think it'll start financially spiraling out of control now.
We'll see
I
how
think
good the
people will start.
Maleficent does.
Yeah,
See how good Aladdin does.
yeah.
Oof.
All right. What's next?
This is breaking news when we recorded this.
Yes.
Robert Pattinson is in talks to play Batman.
He's been cast.
Oh really?
What?
Batman.
He has been cast in Matt Reeves' Batman.
Is that the
Here's-
new live? So we've seen 3 Batman-related things so far in this Hypecast. So
Yes.
this is like
Yes.
just the new movie, right?
This is the one that Ben Affleck was originally making, and then he stepped aside as director, and Matt Reeves came in to direct, but Affleck was still going to be Batman, and then Affleck dropped out, and now Robert Pattinson has been cast.
That
to
seems
play
like
Batman.
that's going to be a good idea. I think.
It's
it's fine.
I like Robert Pattinson. He's done well. He could also play that Christian Bale kind of character, but
Yeah.
give him some more nuance.
He can
I
play
think people-
crazy-eyed weirdos. Fine.
Yeah, I think if people haven't been following his career, they'll be like, "What the fuck?" But if you're following his career, my
indie.
view is like,
Yeah.
"Oh, he should be doing something else, something better."
Yeah, because
like,
I mean,
He's
Batman
an indie darling now. is
for
what he
sure.
is.
yeah, like
Batman's not historically a challenging role that
No.
demands a lot from the actor. So Like,
But who's he up
cares?
against?
Yeah.
You know what story this is based on, or what?
No,
franchise?
I had heard when Affleck was still attached that Joe Manganiello, I probably just fucked his name up, Big Dick Ritchie from Magic Mike.
Yeah, that's Joe Manganiello. Yeah, he was on True Blood.
Manganiello. He had been cast to play Deathstroke in it, who is like this assassin type villain, but he doesn't know if he's still in it. Last time I saw.
Right.
It really, these Batman like hinges on the villain. As we all know, the
do.
Rogues Gallery is the most important part.
Batman's mostly boring. I think the last. I mean,
We've
Michael
explored
Keaton.
him as
Michael
all we
Keaton was
can.
great.
Yes.
And then everybody between Michael Keaton and Christian Bale were fine. But like, it really like.
I get it. Your parents died. I get it. There's like
Yeah.
bats traumatizing your history.
I
get it. You're rich.
Yeah.
I want them. Fucking Ben Affleck is right to get out of this franchise.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's got so much of his own shit going on. So totally understand that, but I did like the idea of an older guy playing Batman.
I thought he was a good Batman.
Like, I want to see older Batman.
Yeah.
Like, as we've seen 500 different iterations of young cool guy Batman.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. We've seen like a lot of iterations of middle-aged Batman of like Christian Bale. Robert Pattinson is like a little bit younger than he's more like Robin age, I feel like.
He's in his 30s.
But Bale wasn't.
Yeah, he was.
Bale was definitely in his like 40s already, I think.
No.
And Keaton, were they all in their 30s? Well,
Yeah.
he seems like on the younger side of the.
He is the youngest.
Yeah.
So
But
okay.
I think they were
they're
all
gonna do-
pretty much in their 30s,
they're-
except maybe Clooney.
If they're going to do young Batman and they have this Joker movie coming out, which by the way, I learned the script for that movie was leaked a while ago and everybody who read it was like, it's not great, guys. This isn't good. I didn't know that about the Joker movie. Yeah, it's a lot of people like being like, yeah, it's
By the way, these
yeah.
what this retcons in the Joker movie is the Joker's like 100 years old by the time
Right.
Batman.
Oh, I think the Joker, the Todd Phillips one, is supposed to stand alone.
Yeah. I guess what I was
not
going to say is
connected.
if they're going to do that, the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, and they got this young, why don't they call up Darren Aronofsky and be like, look, we were wrong about Batman Year One. Did you remember Batman Year One?
I don't think Aronofsky's going to be a good
Aronofsky
one.
had pitched a Batman where he was homeless. The Batcave was like in the subway.
Mhm.
Alfred was like a weird, like homeless,
Oh, he's a crazy person.
crazy guy. Yeah, and he like drives around in his car just shooting people dressed as a bat.
That's a Frank Miller comic.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
It's based off an actual version. Like fucking why not? Let's get Robert Pattinson to
I don't
do
think
Darren
Aronofsky. I don't think Aronofsky would be the right person to do that, though. Aronofsky's.
Oh
movies
no, it'd be a disaster.
it'd be a disaster.
That's what I'm saying. It's like fuck it. At this point, like why
cares?
not? Like because I feel like what happened is they brought Aronofsky in and he was like, okay, you want me to do Batman? Here's the Batman I'll do. And they were like, okay, never mind. We're sorry we called you.
He's not great on character. If we need more character, that's not
Yeah.
the guy to do it.
I just want crazy Batman. Crazy driving around
crazy
Batman.
batshit Batman.
Yeah.
Let's do something different with the
There's
character.
not
Yeah.
much to do. There's not that much.
There is, if you think beyond just trying to do the same thing that every other movie has done, where it's just like, yeah, he's muscular, cool guy.
Gotham made him very young and focused more on the Rogues Gallery and Gordon. I thought that was a good take.
They should do what they did with James Bond is make it more like, oh, this guy's a psycho. Like, oh, this guy's a very like a sociopath.
Or maybe Robert Pattinson is not the original Batman. This is going to bring up the James Bond idea that he's like the original Robin who's now become Batman.
It's just a cloning vat of Batman. Alfred
It's all
tries one
Alfred.
out every 10 years or so.
Alfred's the key.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so Robert Pattinson, good choice, but I need
Sure.
to see everything else around this movie. And it's like the fourth Batman thing we've talked about today.
I know.
Yeah.
Too
So
much
done.
Batman. All right.
much Batman.
Move on.
Well, that's it for news stories. So I want to tell you guys about a movie that deserves more hype.
Fuck me up, Dave.
This is two things, and they're both happening this year. One of them has already happened, and I'm just very confused and delighted by it. The movie is coming out July of this year, and it's called Critters Attack.
Yeah.
It is the first Critters sequel since the 90s.
Directed by my buddy Bobby Miller.
Nice, and it has
Shout out.
Dee Wallace in it from the original.
It sure does. With
It's
a big old ray gun.
yes.
Out of all the movies to remake, or out of all the franchises to reboot, Critters seem like the right time for Critters?
Why not? Fuck it.
It
There's
is,
also
it's never going to be the right time.
yeah.
That's the thing, it's so niche. I don't even think it's like going to be like one of these nostalgia things. It's not Gremlins. It's not.
Right.
It's Gremlins adjacent.
It's
Right.
Gremlins adjacent.
Well, this one's about a good critter.
Oh, this one
the
is?
plot
Okay.
of this is that it's like a group of kids that meet an adorable good critter, and then they
So it is
get
like
attacked
Gremlins.
by other critters, and then they fight. The D. Wallace shows up. It's rated R for a lot of gore, and so that looks fun. Like it's very B movie gore.
And it's a movie, but it's only coming out.
It's a TV movie, I guess.
Yeah, it's a
but
TV
that
movie.
doesn't make if it's rated R, then I don't know how that works.
It looks like they make him into Station from Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, whose name
That's critters. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's what they do. They make a big old ball.
They make is that canon?
Yeah.
yeah.
See, I don't know. I know a lot
The
about
box of one of the movies.
what would you call this? A creature feature? Like
Yeah.
out of all
Yeah,
of them,
100%.
critters I have the least knowledge about.
I don't have much knowledge in critters either. I think it's a big deal that we're getting our first critters since the 90s, and that's neat
Yeah.
for any critters fans out there.
Or you know
They're-
what? Make a new thing.
Yeah, or that. No, make they should do Langoliers next. Any ball-shaped
Oh my
villain.
god!
Let's
But-
do more.
Oh my god, the Langoliers.
Only if you cast
Yeah.
Bronson
Pinchot.
Pinchot
Sure.
once again.
Yeah. Related to this, there's also a Critters series that might already be out on Shudder. So this is just the year of Critters.
It's the critter sans.
And
yeah.
again, it's like an IP issue. I get it, but everything we've talked about today has been an old concept, except for that R.A.
Oh
Astor
yeah.
movie.
I mean, the world is terrible.
This is the fucking world we live in.
Yeah. This I want to point out the Shudder series has Gilbert Gottfried and Thomas Lennon in it.
Sure does.
So it's like, all right.
Unlike CBS All Access, everyone who doesn't have Shudder should subscribe to Shudder. They do have really good original series.
Yeah.
And even their Wolf Creek series, the TV show that they did of Wolf Creek.
They made Wolf Creek into a show?
Yeah, 2 seasons. The first season was excellent.
Wow.
It was like a revenge. It was an American girl taking revenge on the guy who plays the Wolf Creek dude.
Yeah, the Aussie guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was good. And they have really good horror movies that you cannot find anywhere else.
Yeah, Shudder's pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so shout out to Shudder.
Yeah. And yeah.
Critters.
And Critters. All you Critters fans.
All you
listening,
critter heads.
You probably already knew about this movie, I assume, being like, they must keep up with the Critter
Yeah,
news.
that CritterCon. This is
Are
all
there,
old
like-
news.
Are there
Yeah.
individual critters or do they have personalities or is
Yeah,
it
there's
just
a bunch of critters.
are they
There's
like
no
a
critters.
hordes?
I guess they talk. And
They
I
do
guess,
in the show.
yeah, well, I guess they did a little bit in one of the movies.
So it
and
does
they're
seem like they want
expanding
gremlins. This seems like a gremlins thing. If they're finding
Yeah.
a good one in one of them.
it. They clearly, nobody's pumping a lot of money into this.
No, particularly not that TV show.
No,
No.
which is kind of great. And like it, that's
No one wants high
how
con-
it should be.
No one wants glossy critters.
No,
Yeah.
I want when a critter leaps into the air to attack someone, I want it to clearly be a big furry puppet that somebody just threw.
I want to see a green screen half the time.
Yeah, I also think that this should be done more often with, like, if they make another Friday the 13th that me and Tom have written, obviously.
Right.
They should just be like, okay, you got $30,000. And it's like, all right. Like, they should give them that fucking indie limitation for shit like that because it's way more fun.
By the way, did you guys know there was a third VHS? Shudder just sent me an email.
Oh, yeah.
saying
Viral?
Viral, yep.
Yeah, it's been right.
Oh, we know.
You know, if you like the other VHSs, just don't watch Viral.
I don't like the other VHSs,
Oh,
so
okay.
Then definitely don't watch VHS
Yeah.
Viral.
we watched XX recently, which is like the
Is that any good?
3 of them out of the 4. No, the last one very good.
Okay.
Dude.
Yeah, I haven't
There's
gotten
like
around
the
to that
female
one.
version of VHS. It's anthology with
Yeah.
all female directors.
There's also that movie theater one that we covered on here with Mickey Rourke
With Mickey Rourke, yeah.
as an evil projectionist.
Yeah, we got to watch that one.
Yeah.
Has a
There's a
Joe
lot.
Dante short in it. doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, there was that Showtime series, Masters of Horror, that was kind of
Mm.
predated.
These
the
are all good
anthologies,
things.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see how it turns up. I'm not that excited for Critters, but that's not my demo, I feel
Yeah.
like. I could get into it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll check
It's
it
a
out.
dumb movie I saw one time as a kid.
Yeah,
I'll watch this
exactly.
Fucking thing. I don't care.
Yeah, make sure you watch everybody. If you're checking out Critters, make sure you watch all the movies before.
Get caught up on
How
the
many
are there?
Critterverse.
How many
3.
There's like, I think 3.
An extended universe of Crits.
The CEU.
The CEU. Yeah, that's
Caught
it.
up on that.
Cute.
I think that's a sode.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Thank you guys so freaking much for listening. Drew, what do you have to plug? Thanks for doing the show, by the way.
No problem. Thank you. I have to plug Housecast.
Yeah,
2020.
coming up.
No, I'm just Video Drew at all the things you can find Video Drew at. And, God, I have nothing else to plug in my life right now. Thanks for bringing this existential crisis to my doorstep.
No problem. Dave, what do we got?
We got a Patreon, patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. You can check out some exclusive podcasts, such as Tom and Jeff Watch Batman and Fox Mulder as a Maniac.
Yeah, we also do movie nights and other stuff with our patrons, so you should check that out.
All sorts of stuff.
And I'm going to be more involved now
because
I can.
Yeah.
Oh, we also have a store, tpublic.com/stores/gamefullyunemployed, where you can get a whole bunch of shit, including our new Fox Mulder shirt.
Yeah, there's a sale going on right now, you guys. So
even better. Now
that reminds me, I wanted to buy that Fox Mulder shirt.
Then you should.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's it. Say goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
For now. ...
Bye. Our music is produced by Chris Corlew. You can follow him on Twitter at @thecorlew, CORLEW, and find more music at shipwreckedsailor.bandcamp.com. Our artwork is produced by Justin Brown. You can follow him on Twitter at @JustinTBrown, and find more of his artwork at artnessbyjustinbrown.com and justinbrown.info.